So, hi everybody and welcome back to the C++ tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 234, and in this video I want to talk about our next task, which is insert, but I made again an arrow like old time, right? And what is the arrow? I start all the tasks which I made here in a very bad way, bad practice. How to start a task normally. How you start a task normally, how you did it till now. You would normally start a task, let me show it, with a plan, and I never made a plan like this one, but of course there are different ways to start, but a plan is all time a very nice way to start, right? Here I made a plan. So what is this plan called? Do you remember it? So my plan says here, user should choose mode, user should put in info, function insert, that is then called here. Let's write, code. And then insert should find place if exists, and insert should insert node on given input. So this is the plan for my insert. So again, the question, what is that again? What was this code? And if you said pseudocode, then you are totally wrong, because this one is not called a pseudocode, it is called an algorithm. And we have not talked about this one, but we should talk about this one. What is an algorithm? And here is a Wikipedia site. You can read this on your own. I will link it in the description. But the problem about this algorithm is a general description. So it includes again other areas as well, probably. So it's more a theoretical part as well. But we are more interested in practical, but you should learn the theoretical part as well, of course. But here down, when we go down a little bit, here is a practical example which we need to know. And here you can see this one here is an algorithm. And it says here high level description, and an algorithm is exactly that. A plan is exactly that. My plan is a high level description of the task which I want solved. So I want solve this task here. I make a high level description how I want to solve this step by step. And this is called algorithm. So let's write here first algorithm. Okay, algorithm. And then you can solve it. Later you can start to solve it. But interesting is, okay, if this is an algorithm, what is a pseudocode? We have not talked about this in detail as well. But I showed you, I think, a pseudocode in one of this Wikipedia site where you should convert it to normal code. What is a pseudocode? First, we go again to a Wikipedia site. You should read again about pseudocode. It's a very important topic again, but it's not too big. And interesting is, in short, a pseudocode is a code which is a little bit more detailed than an algorithm. What I mean with that, here we have an algorithm. This is high-level description. High-level description means just more or less English words, no really programming words. And if you go to pseudocode now, so after you have finished your algorithm and you are interested in pseudocode, you can translate this algorithm to pseudocode, which means now you describe the same line again here, but you include now more keywords in programming. But important is not in a specific programming, in general programming. What I mean with that is, when you read here the pseudocode a little bit down, you can see here an example again. And normally, here are different kind of pseudocode examples. Normally, any programmer should understand a pseudocode, which means we are learning C++, but for example, they are trying to explain now this Fortran pseudocode here. We should still understand this pseudocode with our knowledge, which means we know a little bit about C++, and we can now still understand this one. This is the meaning of pseudocode, but here very important is they are using here keywords, and normally they are using keywords which are generally known by programmers. For example, this for loop, for we definitely know, right? Here we have not for, but this do we know also. If we know is, for example, we have not in C++. Right, this is here marked as a keyword. We have is not in C++, but all the other things I think we have. and then we have also not as a keyword, but whatever. You understand the meaning, right? They are using keywords to describe now the algorithm, which we have defined here in a high level description, a level below, I would say, and using general keywords. But one more thing, they describe it here a little bit, I think, too detailed, because normally a pseudocode must be not so detailed. You can see this C-style pseudocode is here very detailed. You can be happy if anyone is presenting a pseudocode like this, because you can see it's almost like a C code, right? The for loop is almost here full defined. You just need here replace here perhaps this variable and it's already finished. So this one is already too detailed for a pseudocode. It's almost written as a code, almost, but because it's not written as a code and it's not functioning in a programming, that's why you can still call it a pseudocode. It is not working, so you have still write it in C exactly how you like it. But one more thing, pseudocode is not so detailed. Pseudocode takes, for example, if I would describe this one in C, I would just say here take 4 and then write here 1 to 100 and that's it. You don't need here to provide this information with this parenthesis, start number, and all this kind of stuff is detailed information. The only thing you need is for a for loop, how much I have to loop, 4 and then 1 to 100, that's it. And then you can go to the next. You can see what I mean. This one is nice. If anyone is providing so much as a pseudocode, very nice. But if you are writing a pseudocode, you don't have to write it so detailed, because this one, like I said, is already like you are trying to write it a finished code. That's not the case here. All right, with that said, you understand this one, and we have now talked a little bit about pseudocode. Read this Wikipedia site, read the algorithm Wikipedia site, but you, of course, reading alone will not help. Let's train this. How I can train this, but I will not show you how to train this. I will show you a WikiHow site, which means you can go here to the WikiHow and then they show you how to write an algorithm. For example, how to write this one in a, let's say, in a general way. So this one you can follow and they will explain it step by step. Of course, it's just an example, but I think it will work. And then here, WikiHow is the next one, how to write a pseudocode. And again, step-by-step training, at least a very nice example. I will link those also in the description below. I will link all of them. And with that said, we are almost finished. So what we have to do is, I wrote this algorithm, pseudocode, very important, you don't have to. If you think this algorithm, which is a high-level description, is already enough to describe all what I need, and I can start here directly with coding. When you say, I know when I read this one, I know what to code, then you don't need a pseudocode. This pseudocode is only if you have, let's say, you want just think a little bit more in detail, but you are not so sure and you want to change it perhaps. Then you can write up pseudocode as well. But if in my case, I know this one directly, and I know this one, then I don't write a pseudocode. I just write directly the code and then I see it. We will use this in the next video because I will use the algorithm here. But with that said, you should learn first, of course, this algorithm a little bit, read about theory, about pseudocode. And of course, don't forget best practices and don't forget the principles, because from now on I will try to use all the principles. Like in my other videos I showed you, I have bad habits like no commenting. I have bad habits not using the IDE very efficiently. For example, here I hide all the other things. You can see that's nice. All the here, instead of showing all the other code, which is not very important, just hide them. And we learned the shortcut, learning IDE shortcuts, for example, Control MH for hide, Control MU for unhide, and all this kind of stuff, because this will improve our coding, practical coding, and so on. That's very important. With that said, I think I stop here now. So if you have any questions or any comments like all time, write in the comment section. See you in the next video. Bye and good luck like all time.